how's it going? So thanks for checking this video out. This is going to be part 1 of about 10 videos. We'll see how we go, but basically we're going to be creating a core data app from scratch, just code, no storyboards. We're going to build this kind of FIFA stat player thing where we can just keep track of player stats in career mode. So this is what we're going to be building. I thought it'd be kind of a fun project. It's got quite a little bit of stuff in it. And obviously this is all going to be done in code, so no storyboards. And we're going to be saving all the data to core data. We're going to add that ourselves via a data model. So loads of good stuff, loads of stuff to learn. We got custom cells we're gonna create as well from scratch. As you can see here, we can add a player. We can add a player position. All this is being saved into the core data. We've got some custom icons here as well. At the end of the course then we've got this player feature here. We want to be able to click on that player and obviously say some stats and show on the screen. So maybe that's something we can do together. So yeah, let's jump into this. It's going to be a bare bones project, so no starter projects. We're going to be doing this from a good old single view application. I think it's the best way to learn. I mean, if you're learning to code and you want to see projects right from the beginning, so we're going to create a single view application. We're just going to call it just call it whatever you want. Just going to call it YouTube FIFA tracker. That'll do. We're not going to tick use core data because, as I say, we're going to import that later on. And I'm going to use a Git repository. Highly recommend you do that. All good developers these days are using some kind of source control. We're going to make this project. I think for now we'll probably just go with just portrait. So we'll take off the landscape for now. Something we might be able to factor in later on. But so yeah, here we go. We just got a blank project. First thing we're going to do is create a new view controller. It's going to be a table view controller because we just want to display a simple list. So we'll call it Teams controller. Seems like a good name. Then we're going to call view.load. We're going to call the superclass as well. And then we're just going to set some arbitrary color. So some kind of yellow or green, just so we can test that we're actually talking to that view controller. So after this, now we're going to head over to app Delegate, and in there we're going to call UI window, and UI window is basically the backdrop for the app's interface. So that works together with your view controllers to handle events and things like that. So we're just providing a main window to display our content, and then we're going to call make key visible, which is basically a convenience method on window to show the current window position and just set a root view controller as well. So we'll do that now. And then what we'll do, we'll create a reference to the controller we just created. So just call it controller, or again, call it whatever you want, Teams controller. And then we're going to create a custom nav bar as well, because we're going to need one later on. So I'll just create it. I'll just create it here. So we're just going to custom navigation controller. Seems like a good name. And then we're going to override the preferred status bar style of like content, because it kind of goes well with our color scheme. So once we have that, we can just return like content, and then what we can do, we can actually use this custom navigation controller now with a constructor, with the root view controller constructor, and pass in our reference to Teams controller. So we can just pass that in, We should be able to run this now, and we should just see a simple green table view controller with our nav bar. So nothing exciting. As I say, we'll build this up from scratch now and really customize it. But you should start to see things will take shape pretty quickly. So once you run that now, you'll see it's just a blank table view controller with the separators. Pretty ugly at the moment. So what we'll do now, we'll just create, I like to start projects nice, neat and tidy. So model view controller, and also a group for extensions, which we're going to bring in now. Actually, we're going to create an extension on UI color and also UI view controller for our nav bar customization. So these are the colors I'm going to be using. As I say, you can use whatever colors you like, to be honest. These are the colors that I thought look pretty good. But as I say, you know, I probably highly recommend that you customize it yourself and just maybe change some names as you go along and just make it your own. But we're basically just going to extend UI color and UI navigation controller, and that's it. So nothing too difficult. I will explain stuff, you know, as we go. I usually find this is the best way to, you know, create custom colors. We just add on static lets to with our own names. So then we're just going to create another extension now, a UI view controller to set up our nav bar styling, and this is just going to be you know, your basic sort of tint colors, bar tint colors. We're also going to do prefers large titles, which is pretty much a favorite of mine. I highly recommend putting that in to most apps. So yeah, that's the style in there. So we can pretty much just call that function now in our Teams view controller. So we can head back over, and we can also set, rather than have that ugly green background, we can call a little bit of a nicer color, which is our light red background color, and call our setup nav bar style. So we can just go ahead and run that. Should be starting to look a little bit better. I'm just going to turn off the separators as well on the table view. Just looks a little bit nicer. And that's going to be it for this video. If there's anything that you liked about or didn't like about the video, just leave a comment. You can hit me on Instagram or Twitter. In the next vid, I'm going to customize this a little bit more. So we're going to put in a title. We're going to import some assets as well. And it's starting to take shape. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon.